Let's write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form that passes through the point 8, -8, and -4, -2. And after we do this, we'll check it on Desmos just to make sure that we're right. All right, so the equation of a line in slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. And if we go back to this, we've been doing this for a little while. M is the slope. And remember that slope is simply the rise over the run. We can also say that it is the change in y over the change in x. And how do we find the change in y over the change in x? We just subtract the y's and then we subtract the x's. Okay. And the last part is that we have to have that y-intercept that is right there. There's our y-intercept. And graphically, we need to remember that that is when the x value is equal to 0. So we can check that in our work later on. All right, so what I like to do is I kind of set up as a basic table for y equals mx plus b, and I break all the parts up. And it helps me kind of identify a few things. The first thing it tells us is we need to find m and we need to find b. That's one of the pieces we really need to know, m and b. But in this statement, the only thing that it gives us are x's and y's, and it gives us those x's and y's here in these points, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stack those points. I'm going to say, okay, I've got 8 and I've got -8 for the y. And then I've got -4 and I've got -2. And when I stack those, these are my x's and these are my y's. Well, when I do this, the first thing that indicates is that I've got the y's. I am going to find the slope. That's the easiest place for me to start. And how we're going to do that is simply by going to the idea that we subtract the y's and we subtract the x's. Okay, so let's do that. Let's find the change in the x. Let's find the change in the y. And that's simply just by subtracting. So 8 minus, notice there's 8 minus the -4. 8 minus -4, 2 negatives make a positive. So it's 8 plus 4. So the change in x is 12. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm now going to find the change in y. So I'm going to say -8 minus -2. And 2 negatives make a positive. So we get -8 plus 2, which -8 plus 2 is equal to -6. After we have that, all I need to do is stack that information, the change in y over the change in x. So that is -6 over 12, or the same thing as -1/2. So now I know that the slope is -1/2. Now, how is it that I'm going to get to this b value over here? Because now what I've got to do is I've really got to identify what b is. Okay, I am going to go ahead and pick one of these points that we were given to do that. So that's where the lineup of 1y and 1x comes in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick one. Let's pick -4, -2. This is the x, this is the y. So I'm going to put -2 here. And in x, I'm going to put -4. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to write it out in terms of the line y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to write, just to let you see it, y equals mx plus b. I'm just going to fill it in. Y is -2 equals to the m, which we found was -1/2, times the x, which is -4, plus the b value that we're going to be looking for, which is right here. That's the important part. Okay. I'm going to take -1/2 of 4, and I'm going to combine that. -1/2 of -4 is going to be 2. And negative times a negative is a positive. And then I'm going to have -2 equals to 2 plus b. And then I'm just going to keep solving. So I'm going to get rid of that +2 with a -2. B is going to come down. That's what we're looking for. 2 minus 2, they're inverses of each other. They're going to subtract, giving us 0. And -2 minus 2 is -4. So the b value is -4. Okay. Now, as I stated in the beginning, in order to write this equation, we have to know the two really important things. Okay, the two super important things are m and b. Those are the two important things that we really need to know. So now we can write the equation of a line. And I'm going to do that. So we're going to write y equals m, which is -1/2 x plus b, or plus -4. And that is the same thing as y equals -1/2 x plus negative is going to give us -4. All right, so now let's go to Desmos. Let's check our answer out. I'm going to write y equals -1/2x. And then the rest of our equation, our y-intercept, which we found was -4, but -4. And we're in y equals to x. I'm going to go ahead and change this out to function mode. So let's go f of x. I like function mode. Okay, there's our equation. And what we need to do is check our work. And how are we going to do that? We're going to go ahead and plug the points in that we originated in. So 8 and -8, -4 and -2. So I'm going to make a point on Desmos. 8 and -8. Okay, notice that one shows up. And then our last point, which is -4 and -2. So I go to Desmos and I just plug that one in, -4, -2. And it goes through both of those points. So that verifies that we've done this correct. We can also check out our y-intercept. Check it out. Our y-intercept is -4, just like we calculated. So that's how we do this. We start by finding the slope between the 2 points by subtracting the x's, subtracting the y's. And then what we're going to do is use that information to find our y-intercept, which is over here on the right in the blue. And then we go rewrite it and check our work. All right, I hope that helps you all out with finding the equation of a line in slope-intercept form when you're given 2 points.